right, guys, so here it is. Here is the Losi 8B buggy after a run at the track a couple of days ago. Haven't been able to get to this in a little bit. It's just been kind of busy, but I wanted to go ahead and get back into it so you guys could see what's going on. I'll give you a little update of how bringing an RTR, quality machine to the track. So obviously, as you can see, for those who may not have seen the first video, this was good before it cracked. It's broken off, hasn't cracked anymore. So definitely hit the ground hard last time. Definitely hit the ground hard, that's for sure. So there is that. Servos held up pretty good. I didn't have any issues with the servos. As you can see, my crappy servo job, that's just a mod I did with a Dremel so I could actually get this to fit, because this little wind thing here is really close, and I needed to kind of cut this and put this on because that was the only servo horn this Amazon one came with, and if I messed it up, I wasn't too worried about it. So everything went pretty good. My rear differential ring and pinion stripped. The good news is I did buy a front ring and pinion for the Truggy, and it fits on the back here, but not without modification. You have to jimmy rig it, and I'm actually going to change it out today for the right stuff, the right parts. But it got me through that day, as you can see. And I just noticed my shock tower, my rear shock tower, is completely bent. I don't know when I did that, but that could have been a testament as to its funky handling, because it definitely felt weird after that. So that finally went. I'm surprised this one went and not this one here, because I thought my front shock tower was going to take the most of that, but I guess this time around it was this one. My wing broke a little bit more. I should probably go and get a better wing so that way, my car actually flies the right way. I didn't think it was a big deal, but I think there is something to the wing there. I thought it was more of a cosmetic thing, but I do think that the wing in this instance is functional, and it helps keep you kind of steady. I'm still learning, but it's definitely been a lot of fun. So I haven't broken anything else. Everything else has been pretty good. None of my plastic turnbuckle things snapped. They all seem pretty good. Everything seems all right. And then I tried running these Amazon 8th scale buggy tires. So it was really dry. It was really, really dusty, and these things were sliding around a lot. So I thought they would break apart a lot more, but they didn't. I ran it for a couple of hours too. And as you can tell by the damage, I ran it pretty hard, and these things held up. But the glue on the inside of here, let me see if I can find a spot here, because on a couple of them, and this is going to be, just depends on which ones you actually end up getting. This one seems to be okay, so it may not have been this one. Let me see another one here, right here. So it started to lift up right there. The glue, when I look in there, doesn't really seem glued all that well. I don't really see too much glue on the whole thing, or just crappy glue. If that is glue, it's definitely crappy glue. These worked out pretty well. They gave me pretty good traction. They are really soft, so it worked well in a really bumpy, dusty environment. And they hooked up pretty good. My tune was definitely off that day. I could tell my tune was off. But these hooked up pretty well. So these were about $26 on Amazon for all four, mounted and glued. And I think that these will be a really good tire. Definitely not something for competition use, but these will be a really good tire for practice, because I mean, let's just face it, these expensive tires over here, these things are great, but I mean, look at them. They just wear out super fast. But when they're in their prime, they are way better than the cheapy Amazon tires over here. So I would say, if you're gonna get yourself a pair of tires to be competitive, probably go with something more on brand. If you're gonna just be practicing, these are perfectly fine. They worked great. I would re-glue them. I would definitely re-glue those, so that way they don't do that to you. And if you really want the best performance you'll get out of them, from what I read online, you can change the foams out from a good wheel and put it in those, and it'll make it a little bit better So you can do that. Anyways, just wanted to give you guys the update. Today I'm going to go ahead and change out my ring and pinion back here. I'm going to go ahead, and I learned a little bit about differential fluids, so I'm going to go ahead and put in 7,000 in the front, 5 in the middle, and 3 in the back, hoping that since it's really hot and really dusty and I'm not really getting a lot of grip on the tracks unless we heavily water them, and the water goes away really quickly, I'm going to try that out and see what happens. It's probably about time for my differential oil to be changed, especially because I never changed it after I got out of the box. So I know there's probably, you know, some residual shavings and stuff in there. But other than those few things, this has been a really good buggy. Started up really easily every time. It's been like my 5th time taking it to the track, and I run it for like 6 hours, you know, back to back. I do make sure to reset my piston in between heats there, sessions, just to you know, keep it as fresh as possible. But I beat this thing up last time. Everything was phenomenal. I have no complaints. I mean, I'm getting faster, so I'm breaking more parts. It's the way it seems to go. I should probably order up. I should probably just have these on order, honestly. I probably should get some because I have a feeling these ones are probably gonna go, but at the same time, they just feel so thick. I don't know. So if you guys have any questions regarding the reliability of the Losi RTR buggy, I would say if you're on the fence about getting one and you're going to get into racing, this has been a good way to go. You can also check out the Serpent, which may be a little bit better than this. Just depends on who you like more, but I heard parts support is a little more difficult for them. And you can also do the Kyosho buggy as well, and that one has a lot of parts you're able to upgrade. However, the Losi and the Kyosho are kind of in the same realm when it comes to that, but the Kyosho comes a little bit more ready out of the box, so that's probably the difference in price. So other than that, it's been really phenomenal. If you guys have any questions, anything like that, I'd be more than happy to help. I am the neighborhood noob, and if you guys have any advice or tips for me, that would be absolutely wonderful. But you guys have a good night, and let me know if you like this video, and we'll do a review on the Truggy over there.